All right, here we go. So my opponent is going to go first. It looks like I got Maxi in my hand, and I want to tell you, this deck that I am playing right now beats all of the meta decks. All you have to do is just simply get your extra deck monster onto the field, and you pretty much win the game. Now, when I say it beats all the current meta decks, I'm talking about Dracotail. I'm talking about Yummy. I'm talking about not Pyramid Tsurugi. Pyramid Tsurugi has outs for this, but also this deck that I'm playing against, Ryziel, it kind of has an out for it. So some of the extra deck monsters in here, they are like burn damage monsters. So sometimes they do play the actual out. Like there are cards that inflict piercing damage, and then there are also cards like that can basically deck me out faster. He has it in his deck, but I'm playing a 60 card deck, so even if he does try to deck me out, it's gonna be very difficult. Plus, on top of that, I have a final countdown. There's also another card in this deck that kind of helps prevent me from decking out whenever there's a couple cards that helps me prevent from getting decked out if I'm actually playing like, what am I trying to say here? Maxi, for example. So the Parelia or Fualos, if I'm drawn into too many cards, they'll actually allow me to put the cards back into my deck to prevent me from decking myself out towards the end. I mean, he can't really deck me out. So if I draw into every single card that's in my deck, I win the game anyways because I draw into Exodia. So he would have to force me to discard something out of my hand or try to like activate or go into one of his cards Masquerade. And by the way, if he has Underworld Goddess, I play a card in here that can actually get rid of Underworld Goddess. So I always check for Underworld Goddess so I can banish it. And I may actually start adding into this decks like all of the outs that I can think of in the top meta decks and put them in there so then that way I can use cherries to actually banish them from the extra deck just to make it to where like if my opponent thinks, oh, I can just out Crookie Cook with like Underworld Goddess or something, I can just get rid of it. It's the funniest thing too. So we're gonna go Crookie Cook right here, and I just wipe my field so he can't do anything about it. And he's under final countdown. I got 33 cards in my deck, so we are sitting pretty right here. So we got two win conditions here at this point. It's either he decks out, or three win conditions. He decks out, I go to 20 turns with final countdown, or I draw into Exodia. Those are my three win conditions. And his win condition is just clear this fucking Cricket Cook that's unaffected and can't be destroyed by battle. So, no battle or card effects. He can't destroy it. He can try to put a monster on my side of the field, maybe, so it becomes not unaffected anymore. But Cricket Cook can actually just clear that. And even if he does, it still can't be destroyed by battle or for card effects because it was made with Astral Karibo. So that's the beauty to that. And I've had that happen before where a deck put cards on my side of the field, but they didn't have anything that could banish Cricket Cook or return it back. And this is his win condition right here, Masquerade. So because it's in his deck, I got a lot of extra deck space, by the way. So I may actually add Masquerade to the cards in this deck. I already have this Evil Sworn in there, but Evil Sworn doesn't do anything but just wipe my field. So I don't know. Maybe I'll take the Evil Swarm out, and actually put this Masquerade in case I play against another Ryzio player. I can get rid of their out. So he starts activating this to try to deck me out, I guess, or try to mill like my Exodia cards, but it doesn't matter. He's still under final countdown, and he still will potentially deck out before me because he's at 17 cards. and I'm at 30 something. And on top of that, I could potentially draw into a lava golem, so that's another thing. And then he just quits right there. Yeah, so this deck cooks yummy. It could be Rizio, and here's the deck list right here. That's how I'm running it currently. When I played the match, it was slightly different from this. One thing I do want to point out, this Santa Claus card right here, it's searchable and it's loopable. So I can search this card, and if it goes to my graveyard, I can put it back with Fiendsmith stuff. So I can keep going into Santa Claus. Just wanted to point that out. I may actually bump up the number of Fiendsmith and Paradise Traps, because the more of these I get, the more I can do like little things to send, do more send effects. Very fun. So when you look at decks like the Mitsurugi Yummy, this deck is quite a bit different, but for the most part, it has the same type of outs. The same extra deck is almost every other Mitsurugi Yummy deck. So with that being said, when it comes to Crooked Cook, there's nothing in this extra deck that can out Crooked Cook. So if you make Crooked Cook that can be destroyed by battle and you put it in defense, this is the same reason why Luna Lights cook this deck too. It's because there's nothing in here that can like stop. There's nothing in this deck that can get rid of an unaffected monster except by attacking over it. And Crooked Cook can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and there's nothing in this deck that burns them either. So Mitsurugi Yummy, one of the top two decks in the game, loses hard to Crooked Cook. Let's go over and look at like Dracotail, for example. Now this Dracotail deck right here is closer to a standard Dracotail deck. Now this deck version here is, I would say, slightly better than just playing pure Dracotail because it also has Branded in it. But here's another one that has 0 outs. There's no way to out Crooked Cook in this deck. You can't burn them to death. And not only can you not burn them, but there's nothing to tribute. There's no, like, this deck just loses. They have no out. So when you make Crooked Cook, Dracotail, and Yummy, the top two decks, lose to this. Then there's other decks like let's see what else decks. So like let's say you're playing Horus tier limits or whatnot, right? Or whatever kind of deck. The out is usually like the out most people have is Underworld Goddess. But that's the point of running. Where is it at? This card right here, the Ghost Reaper in Winter Cherries. So when they go to start building their board, and if you put them under Maxia for Wallows and you draw into that card, you can basically, once you draw it, you activate, and then you banish this card and every copy of it in your opponent's extra deck. So if they have this card, they have 3 copies, you banish all 3 of them right then and there. And then they lose their out. That's most decks out for it anyways, which is why I play it. What other decks? I mean, Fiendsmith does have a way to out it if they're playing like pure Fiendsmith, which nobody does. If they're playing pure Mitsurugi, the Magatama, or not Magatama, there's a monster that can tribute that is for that as well. I'm trying to think of what other decks out here. Like, there are some decks that can out it, like Prank Kids can out it. Crooked Cook, because they can continuously just keep burning you by summoning over and over and over, and they can basically burn you to death. How hard is that to do though? Because I think you actually run out of engine at some point, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure you'll probably eventually run out of engine, unless you have a way to loop your cards and keep doing it. I believe Sword Soul has a way to out it because they can burn you to death. But these are not decks that are in the current meta. Like nobody's playing Sword Soul. Nobody's playing like we got Mitsurugi Raizio right here. Even in my Mitsurugi Raizio deck, let's look into it. So this is a 60 card version of this. In my extra deck, it looks like I have what? Let's see. We got Neurological Aggregator, Gallon Granite. I don't even have anything that could out it. So imagine you run into somebody who's playing a deck like this, and I mean they pretty much hard lose to it because there's no way to like, that other guy, he had the out for it, but not really. That was like a slow try to out it. Who draws the out first kind of thing. So it gives them a chance, but not really. Let's see what else. Orcus. Does Orcus have an out? I don't know. Does Orcus play the out? Can't really remember. Well, this one does. It's got Santa Claus in it. But who plays Santa Claus? Extra deck wise? No out. But yeah. So you can absolutely destroy somebody's day by just playing Crooked Cook. So funny. Play Crooked Cook in the meta, your like opponents, they will damn near fucking cry. Like Crystron, let's see. I don't, some of these decks I don't really remember everything in them, but yeah, Crystron doesn't have it out either. So I don't think Crystron has any cards that burn. Yeah, it doesn't. So Crystron doesn't have an out. I mean, here's the thing. These are my decks. But for the most part, I play majority of the main deck stuff in there. Maybe somebody's running something in their extra deck that can out it. But that's why you can check the extra deck with cherries. You can check the extra deck and you can see, and not every deck has the out. There are some decks that don't. So now if you're running a Trickstar, you might be in some trouble. But I don't even think Trickstar can burn you fully unless they can force you to draw cards. But yeah, they could kill you. They could kill you. Vanquish Soul. I hadn't played Vanquish Soul in a minute. But yeah. Super funny. Dark Magician, Armed Dragon, Thunders, Numeron. Numeron would hard lose to it. I don't think actually Numeron beats it because they run kaijus, so Numeron would wipe the floor with it. It's so funny because you have to almost have a degenerate deck to beat the degenerate deck. If you're playing top meta, you lose to Crooked Cook, and it's the funniest thing ever. So, I mean, I guess what this means is if you're playing Raizio, and your game is struggling, like you're having difficulties, you should consider putting Astral Karibo in your Raizio deck, running in this card at maybe like 3, and putting Crooked Cook in your deck as well. And let's see, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except number exceeds monsters. Yeah, Crooked Cook plus Astral Karibo. And then when you summon out a level 4, if they break your board, you just make Crooked Cook and just sit on it until you build your hand back up and you're ready to play again. Yeah. This card is the biggest fuck you to all of the meta decks. So you guys should try it out. It's fun to play. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like this card. So yeah, catch y'all on the next one. Peace.